Hello and welcome back to Crime Watch Narratives. Today we do story of Alex Monson. He was son of Lord Nicholas Monson and just moved into Kenya in 2008 to live with his mother Hilary Monson. I'll not go into details, but we know our beaches attract many people from outside countries, from abroad, black and white, and we welcome them in our country. At 28 years old, he was arrested, and this was in 2012 for allegedly having and using bang in Diani Beach Resort, which is just south of Mombasa. Initially, the police thought that he died from a drug overdose, and this was after he was found dead after the arrest. But an inquest in June 2018 found that he died from a head injury. In fact, toxicology reports showed that the British Aristocrat had no drug in his system. Well, this is according to what was written, and I saw a certain media from abroad that had written that his family used a lot of money, and I'm sure it did, to hire investigators from here in the country and from UK, but someone went ahead to write something that a resource that many people from this country do not have. I don't know how that was important, but Kenyan judge Eric Ogola ruled that Monson was brutally tortured and had cannabis planted on him after he died. The drugs were intended to cover up so that they could not know exactly what had happened, and the judge went ahead to add that Monson had been in good health prior to his arrest. Wow. Following this, the 4 policemen that were arrested were given between 9 to 15 years. And that was the end of what was being reported back then. And I really wanted to know what exactly would have been the motive. In most cases, when a death occurs, there have to be a motive unless it was an accident. Do you want to tell me that the 4 policemen went for this gentleman to just come and kill him inside the cell, knowing very well it is going to turn on them? No, it's not real. Did someone pay the policemen so that they could eliminate Mr. Monson? I tried to figure this out, and I continued with my research only to realize that recently 3 judges found that the case was poorly prosecuted, with important witnesses not brought to testify so as to help the court to make an informed decision. The doctor did not testify, and also the club where he is said to have been before he was arrested. Trying to get the matter clear, I realized that the 4 policemen arrested Monson at a restaurant, and it is the bouncer who reported that he was smoking bang and he would not stop even after being told to. And therefore, caught with evidence, he was taken to Diani police station where he got booked and taken into cell. This was around 2:30, but multiple attempts to wake him the following morning failed. As they were trying to wake him up, he had actually even missed the 6 a.m. tea. And this is when they decided to rush him to Palm Beach Hospital, and he was handcuffed to the bed. At the hospital, the doctors told his family that he was being treated for a drug overdose. Of course, they arrested him with drugs. So when he could not wake up, they take him to the hospital and tell the doctors, check whether he has drug overdose. But his head was swollen and bruises in his hands and his scrotum, and unfortunately, he died later that day. According to a local blogger, postmortem dismissed the claim that he died from drug overdose, but traces of bang, cocaine, Viagra, among other drugs were realized. His cause of death, however, was blunt force trauma, which caused a concussion and intracranial pressure. So this means that somebody hit him. Somebody must have hit Mr. Monson. Who did it? Assuming it happened when he was with the police, did it happen in the cell? I don't think so, because the cellmate testified that they did not hear anything, and this led to the court rubbishing even the idea that he could have been taken out and tortured elsewhere before being returned to the cell. And so, is there a possibility that he was tortured before the arrest? Ladies and gentlemen, let's get real here. We all know the role of our bouncers in our country very well. We are still in the midst of Emmanuel Omondi's case, who is said to be missing after an encounter with bouncers at Hornbill Club. We know very well in our country, people don't see or encounter something strange, something out of order, out of normal, and just call 911. No, in fact, to be sincere, in Kenya, people rarely use the 911 hotline. But in most cases, we know that people take matters into their own hands. Bouncers in Kenya are known to be tough. They're not just going to take a phone and call the police for a small matter. They will call the police after they have dwelt with you. So it is a possibility that when they were trying to get Mr. Monson out of the club, they dealt with him mercilessly. Well, the 4 policemen were set free because it was said the prosecution was done poorly, and now the family is relentlessly trying to get justice, to push for them to be rearrested and jailed again. But as they do this, I think that the investigators, the detectives, the DCI should consider looking into the club where Mr. Monson was arrested. Ladies and gentlemen, let me know what you think about this story. Please remember to leave a comment, a like, and share. Thank you for watching.